Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having a great day. I can say that I am having a great day myself. It's been an amazing weekend in reality. A lot of things that have come about. We're seeing now, especially, outside from my own personal experience with a great weekend, we're seeing the 30th celebrations, the FOMO really take hold of people. And I really hope people have some kind of patience. I've talked about this so much to the point where maybe some people are tired of hearing me say it, but I don't think it gets said enough, to be honest. I think people are so willing to buy into certain things at certain prices and basically lose money. You know, um, it's sad to see, but I think we're seeing all of that come around right now, and we're seeing things change right now. And I think we're going to be discussing a little bit of that today. Pretty wild, but good things are happening. We'll see what kind of conversations we get into. As always, things don't always go as planned on these live streams. Things tend to go and take their own turn. But we're all here for the community, anyways. We're always hanging out with the boys. And so we're going to talk about what everybody wants to talk about. So that's always okay, too. Um, let's see. Let me just share this with the Discord as they've been waiting for me to go live. So let's share this. Let's see. And there you go. There's that. And then just to go to my channel real quick, there's certain things that I am not able to do on a moderator, or if I happen to want to ban somebody. Uh, I don't think I can do it through StreamYard for some reason. It like limits me. So, all right. Concept, what is good, man? What is going on? Thank you for stopping in today. Cardboard Wealth, what's up, brother? What is going on? How are you doing? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a great day. We're seeing things happen with the 30th anniversary, of course. I know you guys saw a thumbnail. I don't know if you guys have been trying to keep up with things. You know, uh, it's pretty crazy. Like, I've recently ran into another content creator that has reached out, a freaking amazing person. And it's so funny that he let me know that what this has turned into when it comes to investing and collecting has really become an obsession. And so I think I've realized that that's what it is for me. Maybe an obsession, maybe an addiction. Even though I think it's a good addiction, if anything, I think it's okay, but it's crazy. Nutcracker, what is going on, bro? Thank you for stopping by. Pull rates seem to be a little too good for the 30th. LOL should create a very interesting market effect throughout the Pokemon hobby. Funny enough, I actually made a video based on the pull rates, and I stated in that video that the pull rates were so good, I felt no need to actually tally it up and actually create numbers for the 30th. Bro, it was insane. That's why I'm telling people, especially when it comes to the singles, be patient because the pull rates are through the roof, bro. I'm telling you, I said this before. We are accustomed to having one regular EX in every 5 packs. If you look at all the other pull rates, it being the smaller sets with Phantasmal Flames, for example, or even the last three, and then you go to something like Destined Rivals, the EX pull rates are still the same. They've always been 1 in 5. The worst bunch of 5 when I was watching this whatnot streamer open packs, the worst bunch of 5 packs or group of 5 or bundle of 5 had a total of 4 EXs within that group of 5 packs. It's absolutely insane. It's almost like an EX in almost every single pack or a hit in almost every single pack. It's pretty wild. You know, there was other bundles of 5 that were an EX or 2, then an IR, and then it'll be maybe an EX or 2, an IR, and an SIR. Sometimes it'll be even be an IR, an SIR, and even a classic collection hit, like that gold Magic Cup, for example. It's so crazy. The SIRs look absolutely amazing, I'm not gonna lie, but they look really easy to pull. The illustration whereas look even easier to pull. And the cards that we thought would probably be a little bit difficult, being things like the classic collection Magic Carp or the Lugia, eventually those seem to be a little easy to pull as well. Nothing like what we've seen, right? It's like we're getting Crown Zenith all over again. As a matter of fact, probably a little better than Crown Zenith when it comes to hit rates. It's absolutely insane. It is interesting to see what's going to happen. That's why most people, when they get these cards, first to market is going to be a big deal because you're going to be able to gamble or not gamble, just bet on the fact that people are going to just FOMO into the set. And I can almost guarantee that they will. They're already doing it. If I pulled a card here, especially one of the ones that I didn't like if I pulled that what do you call it? That that RGB Mew, like any of those, instant sell, instant flip to eBay. I'd rather like if I could get one of those cards and list them on eBay for 10K, I would rather list it, sell it, and go buy myself something that I actually want. I was just recently talking to a new friend about the Lugia V Altart. I would love that card in a PSA 10. I would love it just for my personal collection. I would easily sell that card, buy a few grails or cards that I love, and then pocket the rest and put it into maybe another sealed investment or just other investments overall, right? It's just like it's insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, you guys saw the thumbnail. Already pretty crazy sales happening. Blackwire TCG, what is up, bro? What is going on? How you doing, brother? Thank you for stopping by, man. How are you? Maxwell Gonzalez, what's up? How you doing? Good night. Everything good? Yes, sir. Everything is great, to be honest. Um, sometimes if I'm being a little maybe too honest, I wish things were better in general. I think most of us do. But at the same time, we have to also think about the fact that things could always be worse in our daily lives, right? At the moment, I'm really content. I'm happy, but the fact is that I think most of us probably want something more, and things could be better, but they could also be worse. So yeah, everything is good. Can't complain. When I think about the opportunity or the privilege I have to be here and just talk Pokemon with you guys is absolutely amazing. There's a guy that was in my Discord who would come in from time to time and then he would disappear for a month and then come in out of nowhere. And this whole time I didn't know he was in Ukraine and he was dealing with like actual attacks that he had like recorded and he sent me clips of it. It's so crazy. Like we could be living totally different lives. And so I don't know, just brings me to this, making me think, making me feel how lucky I am. Chilling, just getting off work, had a wild weekend, had a black bear down in our neighborhood. It was cool to see. Cool and scary. That's nuts. Yo, I don't want to cross paths with a bear ever in my life. Yo, that is so wild. I've seen videos of like bears getting into people's homes. I did see this one video of this guy. He had like an assault rifle and he thought there was some kind of intruder in his house. And it ended up being the black bear, and he like took it down with like just a few shots. But that's scary. Like he didn't know what he was running into. Like, what if he went down there just to go look without an assault rifle? Like that could have been bad. It's crazy. Out the gate price is going to be crazy, but everything going to be cheap. Yeah, eventually I think so too. I think so too, man. Happy to jump in and share anything from the Japanic perspective. Well, let us know if there is some kind of an impact that the 30th is having in the Japanese market. Please let us know how that's being impacted over there. Are people already opening packs? Are you guys, from what I know, are supposed to be getting it at the same time we are? But I think I saw some listings on eBay and some things that actually got sold. So it looks like it's not only the English product getting leaked. It looks like it's just getting leaked everywhere. So please let me know or let us know exactly what is happening. But yeah, man, 30th pull rates, I've been saying it. They're gonna be easy. I didn't lie. You know, I don't anything that I ever say, I would have gotten it from somewhere. I hope you guys know this moving forward. I mean, there aren't many people here on the live currently right now. Sometimes the live starts off with a lot of people. Sometimes it just grows into that. But right now, with the few amount of people that are here, I hope you guys know that whenever I say something, I got the information from somewhere, either from a source or I saw it myself. Right. So even looking at like listings on eBay, which is what I was looking at earlier, and even the sales, right? Like, so luckily, or I guess happily, these prices are starting to drop for single packs. $19 is still a lot for what we're experiencing. These are still too expensive this early. Like, they're going to be available. So this is too much. Um, but then we see this here, guys. These Pikachu's, they're going to come in every single pack. Every single pack will have a Pikachu. So for somebody to have paid $106 plus that $23 delivery fee, that is insane. Maybe the person wants to grade it. Maybe they want to be first to market. You're gambling though. Everyone knows these aren't every single pack. That's absolutely insane. I would not do that, right? I also saw no, sorry, it's further up. Sorry. The other one on the thumbnail you guys saw was the futuristic Mew up here. No, sorry, that's the wrong one. These are fan arts. Where are we? It's up here. Here, $1,400. Man, I do not think this is going to be anywhere close to this price point when we actually get product. Like, this card, first off, doesn't even look good. So demand is not going to be that like there for that too much. Aside from what you're really hoping for is difficult pull rates, right? To justify these price points. Because even an ugly looking card with bad pull rates will get you some kind of value. It will grant you some kind of value, right? It's pretty wild to be seeing like people FOMOing into the 30th, not only for the packs or sealed product, but like the single cards. I'm just trying to see on the second page if there are more because I didn't dive too far into the eBay sales. I was really looking at the TCG player prices and how those are changing, which they're changing for the better. I've been saying be patient. You will see at some point when I show it that I think there are some people out there that really don't want to allow the prices for some of these items to drop. Um, but also it could just be opportunity. And I think we're gonna see in a little while when I go to it, this is gonna be the last page I look at because if I don't see any more, I really want there's not even any more. But it also depends on how you describe this on eBay, right? But even the listings here, ETB is at 175 is which this is the cheapest I've seen, not only on eBay but other sites. But like once again, another Pikachu that's going to be in every single pack. It's the bid ended at $26. Another Pikachu at 120 being listed, which who knows if it sells? It's possible. That very same exact Pikachu. Oh no, different hollow, I guess. I think it's a different hollow. It looks like it at least. $88. Insane once again for a card that's going to be in every set. Again, 95. You know, the bids going up to this price point is crazy. 4 days left and it's $51 already. Crazy. Look at all these bids. Like some of these are cheaper than others, but still, this is way too much for a card that's going to be easily like available. Like you rip a pack, you'll get one. You know, like crazy. This is the Shinji Kondo one, I believe, and it's at $152. Still really easy to pull. It's kind of crazy. It really is. Look at the night. That says Morocco though. Let's put US just in case we don't confuse anything else. Where is location? US only. Let me get back to some of these comments here. Blackwire. The lotteries went out last week in Japan for the 30th anniversary. Promo allocations are a little different since there's no UPC. Both day and night Pikachu promos come in one box. I did see that. It is a pretty cool looking box, so I did see that. That's pretty crazy. Are people already like reselling them like they are here? Like when they buy them on the site, do they go on the site similar to eBay in Japan and just start trying to sell them? That's really interesting to know. DL, so what is going on, bro? Thank you for stopping by. What's up, man? I would agree with it's going to be hot for a few months, then cool off with all the product being open cards. Will be high at the start and come down. The pair was young. We had DNR out here and got him moved. Nice, nice. Luckily, he was not a full grown bear, right? And the Espeon and Umbreon are also deck box promos, so I can see the value of tanking hard in Japan due to the low entry costs. Hey, that's not always a bad thing, man. Just everybody having access to something like that, and I'm saying access because not everybody can afford these insane prices. Like this is one of the things too. Like if you want to justify these insane prices, you also realize that there's people who are going to be well outpriced when it comes to a lot of these items, and this really should be available to everyone. It really should. In reality, if it was up to me, it'd be available to everyone. And I hope that everybody does get the opportunity to purchase some of this, even the UPCs. I was today on a card show, a lot of prices, $5 and up market price, and I tried to negotiate, and they don't want to work with me. I walked out of most of the vendors, don't want to make money. Yeah, you know what it is. You know, I don't blame you for walking away. The truth is that greed has like run rampant in this hobby. There are more and more people that care less about making connections and just being involved in the hobby in a way where I guess it is for a vendor about making money, but I'm pretty sure those $5 wasn't gonna make or break his business there, right? I'm pretty sure that he was making much more than $5 on any of those cards you were trying to negotiate. But these guys, the truth is, they're just insanely greedy, man. And for me, that's something that I would remember, and I just wouldn't revisit them again. That's just me. If there's a vendor that was trying to sell me something, and it happened several times in shows that I went to, where I would tell the person like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a card that I want to grade, one in good condition," and the first thing he pointed me to was a Moonbreon. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why are you pointing me to this card out of every other card? Why are you pointing me to like one of the most expensive cards you have on there? And then when you show me the card, it's like off center. So I clearly want grade to 10. So, you know, you're really showing your true colors at that point. And so I just walk away and I don't revisit that table at all. And they lost a customer, they lost potentially maybe something else, maybe something more. But people eventually show their true colors. There will be other vendors, there will be more cards. That same exact card you want will be at another vendor's table, and maybe you could even find it on eBay for a better price point. So some of these people are just, man, they just don't belong here. King has returned. Karma, what's going on, bro? What is up? Card craze, what's up, bro? All is well, man. All is well. I'm hoping the same for you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, we were talking about celebrations prices right now, right? Now, if you guys have been looking on TCG Player, I will refresh the page just in case. And of course, TCG Player, as always. We're seeing here, guys. Look at these price points, guys. Look at this. Look at that market price. Look at this, baby. Remember, guys, I said $400 seemed too expensive at GameStop. GameStop seems to always have it well overpriced. How is it possible we already have this box at $400 on TCG Player? How is it possible? Recent sales at 400, 415, 404. I don't think those GameStop buys were great buys. I know some people feel like they do because they feel like it's really what the markets have been in the last 2 years. I think it's been really, really deceptive, and I think people just feel like everything's gonna be $1,000 or $600. Look at this one, $451, 451, and it's so funny. You see the market price at 451, and people still are willing to buy it at 531, 530. But look at these, 413, 400, 400, 400. Look at all these $400 sales here. Look at all of these, guys. Insane. That's one thing that I've just been waiting for. The day that these actually reach to the price points that GameStop has. And it's so funny to see people still buying these. It's so sad to see. You know, these could be so much more cheaper. And people are just justifying these prices. But it's still a good time. It's still good to see this drop to 451. Just yesterday, if you look, this thing actually dropped to 404. Market price yesterday was $404. Yeah. I think at some point, and I said before, the closer and closer we get to the sale date, the release date of the 30th celebrations, I think we're going to be seeing much better price points. Now the ETB hasn't moved; it stayed at 91. That's where it was for the last few days. It is kind of flattening out rather slow, but we do need this one to drop as well. Like buying into these isn't really what anyone should be doing. The booster bundle dropped a little bit as well. It did drop a little bit in the past few days. It has dropped like $1 each day, 92, 50 cents. It dropped 40 cents, and now we're at 91. So at least that's headed in the right direction. But the FOMO is absolutely insane. Why would this booster bundle be $25 more expensive than this? And all it has is one more pack. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. So be careful what you're buying out there, guys. Be careful. Try to be patient more than anything. And as I said before, Danny Phantom did disclose the pull rates. I before Danny Phantom had already made a video about the pull rates. I didn't pull or put together numbers as he did, but it really doesn't matter. The pull rates were insane, insanely easy, and I spoke about it several times. I hope people who watch me listened. A lot of these cards, if you are not somebody who pulled it, if you did not participate in these whatnot streams and you did not get these cards in hand, then I would definitely suggest, just staying away and not buying into these early on, because you're going to fall into some kind of a trap, and all you're going to do is be somebody else's play. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You don't know that you're going to do well when it comes to grading it in a PSA slab. You don't know what it's going to sell for. I'd rather, for me, it's just not worth the gamble. I'm not much of a gambling guy, and I don't like taking risks like that, and I just wouldn't recommend it. Black Aura says, one thing I don't know on the Japan side is how they will release the classic collection cards. Before, they were promo packs outside the main set you got from buying booster boxes early on. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder why they're doing things so differently. We're already having the same release dates where all the products are going to get released at the same time, but I wonder why Japan isn't having some kind of a UPC. Even if they made the UPC like a different style UPC, I think it would be really cool for the Japanese collectors to have their own kind of UPC. I think it would be absolutely amazing. I don't know why they're not doing that. The most I would pay for the 30th UPC is $200. I'm telling you, it's so funny. I really feel like there are people out there that do not want to, and it wouldn't be a surprise to me if the people who are listing these boxes at these insane prices would just easily buy up all of those boxes that were listed at 400. Like, why wouldn't they? Right? If they're trying to list it at 531, like what we're seeing here, the lowest listing is 531.20. Why wouldn't they buy up the $400 boxes and continue to list those at 531? It makes sense when they want to manipulate the market and they want to like kind of corner the market the way that they're doing. So I wouldn't be surprised that that would be the case. And we're seeing several things change here, right? These market prices are really changing. So, but that is not happening. So, like, oh yeah, 100%. He's saying good luck. Yeah, I know, I get it, but you never know what's going to happen, man. You don't know. We'll have to see how the market really reacts. Is the market going to be really, really hot? I do think that this is basically like the calm before the storm. I wouldn't be surprised if everything just starts taking off again. That's a really big possibility as well. Just as much as there's a possibility that things don't get insanely crazy like they were in the past. But expect the 30th to bring in a lot of hype. A lot of this built up hype that we've had in the last almost 2 years, year and a half, has a lot to do with the 30th. So expect people to be here for it. Roxy, what's up, bro? How are you doing, man? How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by, man. Buying on auctions is the key to life. Yeah. I mean, you got to make an attempt, right? You got to make an attempt. Sometimes there are opportunities that are better than others. You won't really know until you try. Just look around. It can definitely work out for you. So many deals. Yeah, I've had some good deals. I'm not gonna lie. I have. Hope things are going well. Hot take, but I think the 30th will be cheap, $40 to $50 bundles. I think so too. I really think so too. This is why I'm being patient. This is why I'm not buying any of these pre-ordered items. I don't think so. I don't think it's worth doing it. And I think that, patience is key. And I think we have an issue with that in this hobby. I think the last 2 years have really warped the mind. I think people really think everything is just going to go to the moon all the time. And it's not realistic. There's no way. For I wonder if I should just make a video about this, because I think people assume things are just going to go to the moon and they don't stop to think about what's required for that to happen, right? For that to happen, not only does somebody have to sell, but somebody has to buy. And they have to continue buying at much higher prices for these products to climb. If there aren't any sales made at these higher price points or sales at all, nothing's moving. This market price does not move. And so for you to buy something like a UPC at $400 and you think that it's going to take off, it means that you think people are going to buy at 450, 500, 600, 650, even $700. So, does that make sense? If you are not willing to buy at these prices, what makes you think that other people are? Now, I'm not saying no one's going to buy, but I would gamble and I'd probably bet on saying that the majority of people aren't going to buy at those prices. The vast majority of people will not buy at those prices. Now, like I said before, will some people buy? Yes. On TCG Player, these charts with the buy volume look absolutely insane. It looks like everyone's buying, but they're not. We have millions of people in the Pokemon hobby, and the majority of people don't buy, especially not these secondary prices. So it's a lot to gamble on. You're saying it's printed to oblivion. I hope so. I hope so. There's no confirmation on that. I know Danny Phantom said that he's getting like 30% more product on a lot of the items that he's saying. Some people argued that his math was off. Either way, I'm hoping for more product. I really hope that even Danny Phantom doesn't exactly have all the information because I'm pretty sure he doesn't. He's just getting what's allocated to him. And we don't know how many waves of this we're going to get. We don't know how many waves of this we're going to get. We'll have to see. The UPC is something called Futuristic Box, about $190 USD. They don't make a bunch of ancillary products because every company is built for trash collection. So all the plastic and cardboard costs money. Okay. I mean, that makes a little sense, a little more sense why they're not printing all these products. But I wish they really had just nice stuff for them too. Like as a collector, I would not mind having some of the Japanese product as well. Like, but I just want it to look like distinct. I want it to look cool, and I want it to be something that I could admire. You know, I feel like sometimes different languages don't get that kind of opportunity. TJ, what's going on, bro? Congrats to 500K. Shroud of Fable at $14 a pack is fried. Yeah, I was talking about that today in my market analysis video. And if you guys do watch that video, let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it. It is a much longer video. If you guys don't appreciate it, it also isn't performing that well. I used to do this video months back and it would perform really, really well. I also believe that I'm completely confusing the YouTube algorithm and it doesn't know which direction to send your videos or who to show it to. And that is a thing when it comes to content creators, something that you should be really aware of. And you figure out who your audience is so you can know what kind of content to make. And so I think I'm really confusing the YouTube algorithm. So if you guys do appreciate it, if you don't, let me know. I will make a change. That is something that will not stick around if it doesn't have a good outcome, of course. Yes, sir. I did see you sold 500,000 in your store, which is absolutely wild. I'm just happy I caught Chase live today on time. LOL, pretty much just chilling out today. Nice. Thank you for being here, Roxy. Rev, what is good, man? What is going on? Hey, I just got in. It's all good, bro. We've been here, what, 30 minutes? It's all good. You're in early enough. Don't worry about it. Alexa, I've been lucky on Pokemon Center ETB since Twilight. I haven't missed one, thinking of selling them all in one deal. I mean, I think you'd make a killing. It Will you be able to get another Pokemon Center ETB? Probably not, because they're gonna be inflated, but I think you'll still make a killing if you wanted to instantly flip them. I wouldn't judge you for it, that's for sure. I wasn't lucky enough to get one myself. I was able to, like, cart them, I think it was. Not e I'm lying. I was in queue for, like, 6 hours. Sorry, I didn't cart them at all. I just remembered. I was in a queue for, like, 6 hours, and I carted nothing. Um, I don't even know if I didn't get to click on the Pokemon Center ETB, so I don't know if it displayed, what it looks like. I don't know if the Pokemon Center ETB looks different, just like the 25th Celebrations ETB does. I hope that it does, just so that it could stand out and be its own thing. I love that when they do that with the ETBs. So I don't really know, but I would have to assume they're gonna be hard to come by. They truly will. The average person is not buying $300 stuff. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The average collector is not. And, I'm so happy, for the people who didn't see it. I don't know who's been here. I don't know how behind I am with the, with the chat, but this dropped a ton, guys. Remember, this was 700 and something dollars, and so was this one. This box right here is already at the price point that we saw available at GameStop. So I definitely see this one going under $400. And just as of yesterday, this one was also at $400. Uh, as we're seeing here, it was at 404 with a bunch of sales at $400. Now, I do see this one dropping below 400 as well. Maybe to some people it's a hot take. To me, it's not. This is what I see happening, and I can't wait till these become more affordable. Luckily, I believe people that bought from GameStop are going to have the opportunity to cancel their pre-orders. So if you could cancel, if this drops below 400, you'll still be able to cancel and be okay. But if you bought from somewhere else and you're locked in, might be a little bit of a problem. People are getting priced out 100%, 100%. It just doesn't make any sense, but we'll have to see. And like I said before, I don't know if people who are listing these stores, like, it would make sense to me. People who want to corner and manipulate the market, they would just buy up the $400 boxes and continue to list their $500 boxes to keep profiting. They're still going to make money. So I'm watching your video after this. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I just want to know if you guys appreciate those kind of videos. I don't know if you do. If you don't, it is okay. You don't have to like every video. I understand it. But as myself being the content creator, I do need to know if the people who watch the content actually like it. I know you guys support me, and just there's a lot of people here who just because they support me will watch the content. But I would like to make content that you actually like as well. I want you to be entertained. So if that is true, if it is entertaining and you do like it, and it's something that you enjoy, let me know for sure, because that means a ton. Karma, my man, my Ray bro. Yo, oh, Rev, they came in. So in my Discord, of course, we like I said before, we talk about singles all the time, and and of course, singles have been through the roof. I didn't know whether I should make this this stream about Rayquazas. I was going to, because Rayquazas keep on pumping. People are waiting for uh, this Delta Rain set, and opportunities are looking like a lot of singles, like the Rays, right? So here's one that came in recently, the Shiny Rayquaza promo. I bought this card for $105. Market right now, and this was through an auction, like Dios is saying, market right now for this card is $188, I believe. Really, really clean. Absolutely clean. There is a little bit of a white speck on top of the card, but still, even at LP, I would have no problem. There is no grading right now, right? So I'm not thinking about grading any of these cards. But when I can buy these cards, this is a second one. Bought it for the same exact price. I think people who were auctioning didn't know the market price. This one is much cleaner. So this one is basically near mint. I will gladly go into a store and use it as store credit. I'll trade it in, no problem. I also got the secret rare Rayquaza for a pretty good price as well. This one's from Evolving Skies. Centering is not horrible, but it's not great either. I don't think this one will be a 10, but I got a steal for it. And then this one. is the other one. Beautiful, beautiful card, really well centered. Once again, as these prices continue to pump, I will, use these as a trade-in value and maybe pick up some sealed or just pick up the next thing that I want to roll money into. So these are just the ones that came in the past week. I've had other ones in the past. Just too it's too much to find them right now, but opportunity, it comes and goes, and right now I think those are one of the biggest ones. Q and I are ahead of the game. Yeah, they've been buying up Rayquazas like crazy in the Discord. Jay, what are your thoughts on the Metal Zard and Pikachu 25th anniversary? To be honest, I think the Charizard looks amazing. I do have the Metal Pikachu. It's so wild to see the prices they're at right now because I was looking to buy the Charizard at $70 and I kept looking at different listings on eBay and I wanted to find some that were in good condition because some of those metal cards they're chipped, right? And I'm pretty sure you know that as well because you're asking about them. So a lot of them are chipped, but I do like that they're metal. Like I think that is such a cool thing. Unlike all the other Charizards from base set that keep getting reprinted, at least this one is different in the sense that it is just a whole entirely different material, which is metal. And I think they're cool. Now they're just I'm leaving them alone. I was looking at them at $70. I don't know what distracted me. It could be partly content creation because I devote a lot of time to this, that it made me look away from the actual metal Charizard that at the time was $70, and I think it has absolutely taken off. I forgot how much it's worth right now. It must be like $200 or $300, and in a PSA 10, it is insane. I'm so upset that I didn't grab those up. So upset. My refract cooked so hard on the target the other night. Oh my god! Good luck getting any people. Uh, Good for you, bro. Either this guy is a troll of some kind, like um, I don't know. We get all kinds of people coming into the chat um, that let me see something that like to say these things to get some kind of attention. I don't know. Good for you. I don't know what to tell you. The PCTB and mass are interesting, and they are not as profitable now. Investing now is different. Yeah, it all depends. It's all entry point, Rev, and I know you understand that more than anyone else, or just as much as anyone else. It's all entry point, and buying Pokemon Center ETBs at insanely inflated prices just really isn't the way to go. All the gains are already made at that point. When it comes to a slow moving uh, Pokemon Center ETB, it just makes a little more sense. But like right now, what we're seeing right now with these astronomical prices, I wouldn't suggest it at all. I don't think it's worth it. Let's see. James from the Alamo City. What is going on, bro? When did you get into Pokemon? Thanks for the live. When did I get into Pokemon? Okay, so I'm gonna break it down a little bit because I think you might want a specific answer. So that's why I'm gonna do this. So Pokemon overall, I've been watching Pokemon since I was 10. I played a ton of the Pokemon games, right? Like I didn't have blue version, but a friend of mine had blue, which was great because we got to battle. I had red version and yellow version. Absolutely loved yellow version, being able to have all the starters. I had gold version and then crystal version, which I absolutely love as well, being the fact that you could go from Johto to Kanto, amazing. And then, of course, the legendary dogs, just chasing them down and getting them was amazing as well. I also played Ruby, and then I also played Diamond and Pearl. That's where that stopped for the video games, right? And then I got a little older and things changed. Of course, you get a little older, you're in high school, you're focused on other things. I was really focused on sports, so I left that behind. And then I got back into Pokemon recently into the TCG with 151. My brother showed me a Blastoise SIR, and that's really all it took. I actually thought it was a fake card because I didn't like I was so out of the loop with the TCG. Like I was playing, like I even played Pokemon Go when that was hot. It was really cool. With those like moms of people. I was out there in New York, like walking around in parks. It was pretty insane actually. Like people would be like Dragonite, and you see like literally see like 200 or 300 people walking in a mob. Now that I think about it, I think New York should have handled that better. I think there should have been police because there could have been like, who knows? There were so many mobs. It's crazy. But like I got to experience that. That was really fun. But I never got into the TCG at the time. I didn't know the TCG started pumping at the time either. I didn't know that it started pumping during COVID either. I was also a construction worker at the time. I was a plumber, and I mean I still am a plumber, just not in construction. And so my life was doing so many other things, right? I was so involved in other things, and my mind was somewhere else. And then 151 comes around. My brother shows me a Blastoise SIR, and I thought it was fake, like I said before, and I thought it was like some kind of a drawn card, like a fan art. And so he goes to tell me, no, it's the new, basically, like it's almost like the new base set. They remade all the new 151 Pokemon in a new set. And man, that's all it took. I saw that Blastoise. I thought it was really cool. And it like sucked me in. And you know what's so ironic? He gets me involved into Pokemon. And I don't know how long after I go to an LGS and I buy a few 151 packs and I pulled the damn Blastoise. I bought like 2 packs. Like, that was insane. Like, it was almost, like, meant to be. It's so crazy. It's so crazy the way life works, man. It really is. Uh, Forever we on it. Yeah, yeah. We such a lot. Once grading is more affordable, we will do good. Yeah, that too. Snack Bread, what is going on, bro? Very nice to see you here. How are you doing, man? I appreciate you being here always. I support you. Market analysis does nothing for me, but my sealed play is lower than most. Yeah, I mean, the market analysis is not entirely for you to buy in, but to track what you've already bought into. It could be something that you could use to buy in as well, because sometimes in those videos you will see opportunity come about, right? But for the most part, it's just to track where you are right now, what's been happening, and things like that. Poke Painter, what's up? We're booming. It looks like things are starting to pick back up again. I'm not gonna lie. PSA and CGC, Deltarune will do big things. Yeah, I'm excited for it. From what I'm hearing, we're supposed to be getting a lot of that coming to the market, like a lot of booster boxes and things like that. So, clean card, yeah, that was a big one. Yo, I love these cards. I think they're really cool. Yeah, I was happy to pick up those a couple of years ago. The non-shiny as well. Oh, the non-shiny one that looks like the promo. Poke Hobbs. This is the guy I was talking. Whoever was here early on in the stream, uh, I'm getting to know Poke Hobbs. We've been talking on the side. Great, great dude. I will be having him next week on a Thursday, I believe, the 27th, I think it is. I'll be having him on a live on my Thursday lives. I can't wait to have him on here. This is one of the coolest people I've met on here. Really, really cool dude, man. I can't wait to have him on here. If you haven't already checked this channel, I would say check him out. Really good dude. Like, really good dude. Great content as well. You guys got to go check him out. Okay, that shiny ray is sick. Yeah, the shiny ray is by far my favorite. I'm pretty sure you guys are talking about this one. I'm pretty sure you're talking about this one. This is by far my favorite, for sure. Chain knows the plays. It's like I said before. Like, if you're picking these things up with a collector mindset, keep in mind, like, all this stuff that appreciates in value, it's appreciating in value because of the demand for it, and the demand is brought on by collectors. So if you're looking at it as a just collector and you're looking at this stuff, you'll see, like, whatever you desire will probably be well in demand. So it isn't that hard. So I look at the Rayquazas that I think look the best to me and appeal the best to me, and the ones that, like, I automatically think about when I think about a Rayquaza card. Now, 2 cards that I didn't purchase because of the price points were the Rayquazas in Evolving Skies. Those Rayquazas are probably going to have the best gains, because, like I said before, when it comes to a set that's getting made and it has a popular Pokemon, and a lot of these singles start moving because attention gets brought on to that specific Pokemon, people usually go to the most popular, most desired cards. And in recent times, the most popular and most desired Rayquaza cards are clearly the VMAX and the Rayquaza V from Evolving Skies. So those are the ones that are going to perform the best. But when it comes to entry point, buying in at these, like, lower prices, for sure, these lower ones are pretty good plays as well. Catching Alive, someone wants to trade my 2 SPCs plus $50 for a Chilling Reign booster box. Deal or not? I'm thinking I can find more SPCs in near term. Well, for me, if it was me, I would think about, what do I want right here? Like, why do I want this Chilling Reign booster box? Do I want it for my collection? Do I just want it for my sealed display? Awesome. I'm doing it. Right? Do I want it for value? Like, will it grow? Like, is it gonna appreciate? Is it an investment? If it is, I wouldn't do it personally. Chilling Reign, it almost seems like it's getting close to its ceiling. It doesn't have the most desirable Pokemon in there. Um, just the top chases aren't the greatest when you're talking about the Calyrex Rider, the Rider Calyrex and the Ice Rider Calyrex. Like, people don't really love those Pokemon. Yes, the Blaziken is really cool. There's other cards in there that don't really get the attention that they deserve, like the Moltres and the Zapdos and the Articuno as well. People aren't looking at the set and saying, "Hey, I love Chilling Reign." So when it comes to like an investment standpoint, for me, I'd personally stay away from those. I think the SPCs will just perform better down the line. That's just me. That's what I think. Jay grabbing more rays. I don't have the silver one. It is up big. Yeah, it's a really nice one too. The Evolving Skies full art was a great pickup at $30 a few months ago. It's 88 right now. Wild. Yeah. Rev picked up a ton of those actually. Yeah, just traded both those metal cards recently at a show, and yeah, dude, they chipped super easy. Yeah, I don't know why. I think a lot of people said that even in the boxes they came out like chipped. Like you didn't even have to. It wasn't even you causing the damage. They just came chipped. Maybe it's the way the metal didn't hold. Maybe it didn't like the ink didn't bond well to that metal there, so it started like chipping. Who knows what the process is, right? When it comes to making those, it's probably got a lot to do with that, with the way that it bonds. It just doesn't hold. Maybe it even clumps up. I would have to assume that even if a little bit of dirt, like just because I was a construction worker and I'm involved with like mechanical things, whether it's soldering. If there's a little speck of dirt sometimes, or some kind of a substance that's in between a metal and another substance you're trying to bond to it, like another product, it sometimes it really gets in the way and it doesn't actually let it bond at all. So it's very possible things happened just like that. You know, that it's Pokemon. You know, they're not perfect. They for sure probably made some mistakes in there. Indeed, I have five. Yeah, exactly. Uh, Chuck out here making annual salaries in one drop. Who's Chuck? Trolls, gotta love them. I told you, man, they're everywhere, bro. They're everywhere. I mean, like, what did you get from telling me that your bots got you whatever you got on target? Like, we know they're out there, bro. We know. Most of us ignore trolls. Entry point is everything. 100%. Rev that rate up heavy. Yeah, that's why I'm picking up those Origin Rift Foxes. Oh yeah, you love those. I thought it was nice to hear Catch'em Collectibles say that he will be stacking cases of these recent lower end sets as they hit MSRP and even double that if they go on that MSRP. You know, Catch'em Collectibles, like Dan Dan is like somebody who has like some pretty good foresight. Like he sees things down the line. Like everybody's so involved with the hype right now, and he's very well aware of what's happening right now. But he sees the potential in so many other things moving down the line. And he's also been in the hobby a good while. He's been running his business for a good while. He's been really successful. So a lot of the things have panned out really well for him. And so, you know, his experience just it speaks for itself. You know, he usually makes really good plays. A really smart guy. Cards are up every time, but it goes through authentication and to me. Brother Blaster from 151 is my favorite in the whole set. I pulled that one and got a 10. Nice. Oh, the Japanese. You know what's funny? I opened several Japanese booster boxes. I never pulled anything like really good. Never. It upset me. I was really hoping to get like some kind of a god pack. Never happened in the English or Japanese. It sucked, but you know what? I still had fun. I still had a fun opening 151. That Blastoise pull though was pretty crazy. Like I didn't expect it. You know, I just bought 2 packs. It life is so funny. It really is, man. Any expensive ray, make sure it is authenticated via eBay. Too many fakes. 100%. Laugh more. Jay says everything is fake. Like what? Like what? What did I say is fake deals? You're such a troll, man. This is not the troll like the other guy. This is a friendly troll. A friendly troll. Okay, what about the RGBs? Are those fake? Because I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, like I thought they were fake. A lot of people are saying that they're real. I don't know. Okay, so a part of me hopes they're real because it's just another chase, right? And it'd be like, I guess, another dopamine hit for the average collector that finally pulls his card. Probably something really, really cool. Um, Probably some decent value. I think that if I pulled it, I'd list it on eBay for $10,000. I'm not gonna lie. Either that or I'm grading it right away and then selling it. Um, Outside of that, though, I do hope, you know, in a sense that they're fake because they're by far the ugliest things in this set. They're so in my opinion, they're so ugly. It's just me. I know some people like the card. I think it is an absolutely hideous looking card, man. Thanks, brother. Of course, man. Of course. I mean, once I saw your content, I said, man, this guy is gonna do well. This guy's gonna do well. People just have to give you a chance. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I've been hit or miss. Like I said before, I've been confusing the algorithm. I've had some videos that do well, some that don't, and I've really been stunting my growth. I haven't been consistent. My topics keep changing. It's almost like they change so much. It's almost like changing genre, and the YouTube algorithm doesn't like that. And you've been pretty on point. And on top of that, your videos are just great, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna kill it. And you've only been doing this for 7 months, and I've got like 2 years. I'm telling you. It will be cool to meet new people. I will check him out. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's. I would not recommend it for no reason. You guys have not heard me speak of people like that on this channel. You guys already know. I stay away from drama. I stay away from the fakes. I'm honest with you guys at all times, and you guys rarely ever hear me recommend a channel or anything. So I would definitely check them out. Jay, the Delta species Rayquaza I posted today is one of my favorite. Now that card is so cool. I wanted that card, but that card is not cheap, man. That is not a cheap card, and it's really hard to find in good condition because of how old it is. That is a really nice card. Rev got 5V full art crazy. Yeah, he's been picking up a ton of Rayquazas. I think the last time he showed me a picture of all the Rayquazas he's got as of late, I think he had close to. It had to have been close to 30 already. Yo, what's going on? Awesome. What is up, brother? What is going on? Thank you for stopping by. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great Sunday. The Evil Skies Rayquaza V is still undervalued considering how tough they are to pull. Yeah, they are. I mean, anything Evolving Skies is hard to pull. Like, this card is from Evolving Skies. For those of you that don't know, this is an Evolving Skies card, and this is supposed to be the secret rare. Hard to pull. The value before this Rayquaza set coming out wasn't up there for the card, but it's really hard to pull, if we're being honest. Anything Rayquaza, not Rayquaza, anything involving Skies is just really hard to pull. I think some of the cards in there, like just thinking about the pull rate of these singles, I think it would justify prices rising at some point. Like, I do think picking up some of those singles in Evolving Skies, even though they are expensive, are a good play long term because of how hard they are to pull, how good they look, and just being part of that set also just gives it a different value. We're seeing other cards, right, in other sets that are lesser in demand sets with great cards, and because they're in those sets, they don't perform well. So I think Evolving Skies cards, those singles like those evolutions, like the Glaceon V, I absolutely love that card. My fiance loves the Leafeon V, the Sylveon V, I love as well. Insane cards in there. Underrated cards. Pokebunks, what's up, bro? What is up? Thank you for stopping by, man. Evil Skies is not being ripped in mass, so pop counts will not go up big. Yeah, 100%. That increase in pop that's been far gone. I mean, it'll go up over time, but it's no longer going to be a drastic change. That's just not going to be happening anymore. Been trying to find clean Lucario early stuff. It is tough. Lucario, Lucario doesn't have too many illustrations, right? I don't think outside of the Lucario promo from the 25th celebration. No, sorry. I'm sorry. That is the Greninja. The Lucario, I believe, comes from Crown Zenith. I think that's the most recent card we've had outside of the Lucario in Mega Evolution. Before that, it was just that card in Sword and Shield, and then you have to go back to, I believe, one of those tag team cards where I think it's Lucario and Melmetal. You have to like go back like eras to just find one card. Like every era has one Lucario, which is pretty wild. So now you're going back to times where cards weren't even kept in good condition, so they become that much harder to find. The 151 Blasters, yeah, 100%, man. Poke Hops, just up to you. I'll give you a try. He's a great channel, bro. Promise you. When master setting 151, pulling 4 Zards, 4 Blastoise, Alakazam, Zapdos did it for me. That's wild. That is wild, man. That is crazy. Yeah. Amazing cards, man. Like the Alakazam is one of my favorite 151 cards. Like a really underrated Pokemon too. One of my all-time favorites. Right up there, pretty much with Gengar. honestly. Gengar, Dragonite, and Alakazam are some of my all-time favorites. Love Alakazam, honestly. He should like I cannot wait. We're gonna get Mega Alakazam at some point. Of course, the Mega Alakazam design does not look as good as the regular Alakazam, but still a really great Pokemon. Yeah, right on. Thank you. Yeah, you're gonna have a great time, bro. Anybody watching Pokemon channel, I think you're gonna have a great time. Great takes, just great vibe overall. Tuna was okay. I remember ripping that one. Personally, Brilliant Stars, that was fire. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. So this is like the sentiment most people have. They rip the set a little bit, they enjoy it a little bit for what it was, and then they move on to the next set that they actually end up loving, like Brilliant Stars with that insane trainer gallery, or at the end of Sword and Shield where Crown Zenith was an amazing time to rip, right? So Chilling Reign for most people just isn't memorable, right? The opening experience was horrible. um, a lot of the cards in there people don't like. I don't know why. It sucks to say, even though a lot of those cards are really nice, like that Articuno in the bubble looks amazing. The Galarian Moltres looks amazing as well. The Slow King also looks amazing. Like there are some really nice cards, but I've said it so many times, regardless of how I feel, the market it just does what it does, regardless of how I feel about it, right? So people just don't like the set too much. I'd love for the RGB to be real because it means we can break out of the numbered set system and have an actual secret rares once again. I mean, if you just increase the pull rate of a card, I think you create the same kind of chase. But for me, like I said, the card just doesn't look good. That's the word. The only thing that I can say about it that's actually a negative thing is that the card is ugly. The idea of the RGB Mew is not a bad idea for it to be like this one card that's really hard to pull, whether it be 1 in 10,000, 1 in 5,000, whatever it may be. The idea is a great idea. I mean, we actually have that idea already, right? We're seeing a lot of these other cards, these gold cards. Some of them were like 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 2,000. Yeah, at least that's what it seemed like. We don't, you'd have to pull so many cards to have a definite number, but the idea is there with the gold cards, and those were already cool for people to pull. The designs were not that great. I only so far out of all the gold cards, I only like two. I only like the Phantasmal Flames Charizard, and now even though we don't have it in English yet, the gold Rayquaza. So the designs are not great, and we're seeing the same thing with this Mew. It just doesn't look that good. You know, I don't know if I don't know if that card is going to tank in value once things settle down and people get used to the card. But yeah, with the Emerald coming in, I will have 45. That's wild. Holy crap! I think they're real, but I want to hear Jay's take. Yeah, there's been too many different cards pulled. Like I think I forgot who it was. Somebody said something that really, I think it was Mimic Brew. There you go. FYI, guys, I am gonna have Mimic Brew live this Tuesday. I know I normally go live on Thursdays, but he's not available on Thursdays, so we will be live with Mimic Brew for the first time on Tuesday. That's gonna be real fun. And then on Wednesday, I think I'm gonna be on Krabby Card's channel live on his. So, but yeah, Mimic Brew, he was talking about it and it made sense. What do these people gain from making a fake Mew and putting it into their packs? It doesn't make any sense. And it also doesn't make sense for them to be pulled in different countries, even different regions. I saw one of them with, it was in a different language. So I think they're real. My hope is that they're not just because they're ugly, but I do think that the chase for them will be fun. I think that they will have insane values for those that do care about the value more than the chase, or both. So I think the cards are real. I think somebody tried to say the yellow one wasn't real because it says RGB and it's supposed to be red, green, and blue. But you never know. It's very possible that they just did the red, green, and blue and yellow because of the first original 4 games for the Game Boy, at least. Um, so it makes sense that the yellow one be real as well. So it doesn't make sense for somebody to create these fake cards out of nowhere. So I'm pretty sure they're real. Jay, any more cool singles you picked up? I did. I honestly don't know where I've placed them though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I don't know where I've put them. I will say that I ripped more Pitch Black, trying to chase the Darkrai and the Morpeko, and I finally pulled the Armarouge, which I actually think this card's really cool. Him just jumping into like this like canyon is really cool. I think as time moves forward, I think Armarouge will just gain more popularity. It's just too new. Aside from that, I do from time to time try to pick up some of these promos, which I do just pick up random promos from time to time. So I did pick up like this Eevee, of course, more. I picked up several of these. Actually, I think I picked up like 6 of these recently. This Cosmos Hollow Abra promo, this another Ascended Hero Zekrom, and I don't know if I showed this one, but the full art shiny Gyarados. I really like it, and I said to you before, Karma, that when it comes to singles, that I think are going to pump, I did say that I was going to pick up some um, some of the singles that were revolving around the more popular uh, Mega Pokemon, and Gyarados by far being one of those, right? So I mentioned picking up Gyaradoses and Mewtwo's and things like that. So when the opportunity arises, I will pick them up. But outside of that, for right now, I just can't find them right now. I would have to actually start looking. Full art pull rate to hit a specific one is 1 in 922. That's pretty crazy. Got the Furious Fist one. I think that is the set. Yeah, yeah, that's XY Furious Fist. Yeah, that is a really nice one though. That's a pretty cool one, the full art. Salvador, what's going on? Jay, this guy saying we overprinted and priced. Oh, wait till that go down in price. I don't know. To wait. I think it makes sense if you're talking about the 30th. I think it makes sense to wait. As I was showing here, these were selling on here for 700 and something dollars, right? I'm pretty sure you saw that at some point, right? Look at this, the first few over 1,000, which is, I don't know if they were trying to create a market price. I wouldn't be surprised if they were just manipulating it, but at some point we were here for a little while in the $700 range, right? Just a few days ago, just yesterday, market price for this was $404, and this is the UPC that's more in demand, right? So we're already seeing sales here at 400, where people thought that the GameStop sale at 400 was some kind of a steal. I don't agree. I think that we need to be patient. I really do think we need to be patient. So I think we will have better opportunities. And even if you look at the other one, which is the day one, the Espeon one, it's already just sitting at 400. It's just sitting there. More sales at that $400 range, 415, 404, and then 400. Look, so I think patience is key here. These were also really expensive for a while in that upper $600 range until it started pulling back. So I think patience is key, right? The ETBs were over $200, like well over 200. These were well over $100. We're at 91. They're dropping steadily, like slowly, but they're dropping. You know, it just makes sense. Even here, you're looking at 5 packs for $64 compared to 6 for 91. It doesn't make sense. These numbers still need to work themselves out. They're not right. Don't look at these as gospel at all. Just be patient. We're gonna have better opportunities. People are gonna FOMO. They are FOMO, and we're seeing that they're FOMOing into a lot of this. Well, I'm putting Japanese seal on the back burner for now because those prices are worse than English. 3 to 5. Yes, 100%. Like the Rayquaza set right now in Japanese is crazy. I would have loved to have ripped some Japanese, but not at those prices. It's not happening. I'm seeing these things sold at like $180. No way. No way. That thing is shot. That thing, I'm not touching that at all. If not, I would have ripped some. It would have been nice. Hey, brother, love your videos. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Where do you think the 30th Pokemon Center ETB will be in the next few months/years? Thinking of buying one since I missed the pre-order. Well, I'm in the same boat with you, and I think that these will clearly be dropping in price. I didn't get to pick any up, sadly. Um, it's currently sitting at 500. Might as well just show it to you while we're looking at it together. In the last month, it's dropped 38. I mean, I'd rather wait. Personally, if I wanted to pick one up just for the collection, I'd rather wait. We're now at $500. I know people are going to hold out as long as possible with their listings, right? They're going to keep listing these as expensive as possible. It's so funny. I wouldn't even support this store just because they have 10. That means either you must have bought it, you did something to obtain more than the limit, right? It's just me. I don't know, taking away the opportunity from other people. So, $503 right now. I of course it's just dropping. I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait for a better opportunity. What it's going to be down the line, uh, that's a really difficult question to answer, if I'm being honest. But what I will say is that I have an issue with these price points because the opportunity for you to actually see some kind of appreciation is basically gone, man. Like it's gone. Like just understanding what it takes for prices to move when they've reached these price points, as I was saying before, somebody has to be able to list at higher prices, which is easy, but then that means you have to hope that people buy at those higher prices. You're hoping that there is that cycle there, right? Somebody buying, somebody selling, more buying, more selling at continuously higher prices for these to rise in value. You know, after a while, of course, when these things age, they do get more expensive. Um, but I think right now it's a time to wait. If you really, really wanted to buy one, you know, it's really up to you what you want to do. But you really, I think it's really worth waiting right now. We're seeing it drop. It's not rising in value at all. It's tanking clearly. So I think it's worth buying. So just consider what your goal is there. If you're trying to buy it for like an investment of some kind, I think you might be making a mistake, just because, like I said before, you know, entry point is probably the most important thing when it comes to this hobby. I've said it so many times, um, and I think most would agree. You know, buying things that have already appreciated in value will not give you the same kind of appreciation as, you know, the newer things that have a better entry point. It's just the way it's going to work. So. And also, it'll take much longer for them to appreciate. So, I hope that helps with your question, man. Listen for 10K right away. Honestly, they're so ugly. I'm right there with you. Yeah, I don't like them at all, man. I'm so fine with selling these things at 10K and actually buying some. You know, I was talking to you about buying that Lugia, right? It's 1500 in the PSA 10. I'd love to have that thing, man. If I could sell this card for 10K and buy something that I actually want, that's a win-win. It's a super win. It's a super win. I hate all the futuristic cards in the 30th. They just look dumb. You know what's funny? You got here late. But look at this. You saw my thumbnail, right? And you saw if you saw my thumbnail, let me see. Where are we here? This is page what? It needs to be on page one, I believe. Page one on eBay. If you saw my thumbnail, it means you saw that I put this picture here. Where is it? Mm, where are we? Those are fan arts here. Nope. Sorry, sorry. Oh, did I pass it? It's up here somewhere. Here we are. $1,400 for the futuristic Mew. Look at that. Look at that big baby. 1,400. I would not pay that for this card. I'd have to love the card, or I'd have to like be pretty confident in the fact that I'm going to be able to like flip this and they perform well. This actually looks like it might not even 10. Look at how thin. You know, if we're being honest, look at how thin that top border is. You could just compare it to the side border. Look how thin that is. And then if we go down to the bottom of the card, um, look at how thick that border is there on the bottom. Look at how thick that is. Yeah, this probably will get a 9. Unless PSA just wants to grade it a 10 just to be nice and have it to be one of the first cards, you know, that are going to get listed in a PSA 10, that won't even get a 10. Look at how much it already sold for. FOMO is insane right now for the 30th, like just for anything. As a matter of fact, there was also a regular Pikachu card that you're going to be able to pull and you're going to get in every single pack you open. Those Pikachus, look at this. This should really be like it'll one day be like a $5 card. I'm confident in saying that. $106 for this card. It's just a regular Pikachu. That's all it is. They come in every single pack. They come in every single pack, guys. Somebody paid $106 for it. Pretty insane. Pretty bad decision making there. It's pretty wild. No, I meant secret as an unlisted. I got you. I understand what you're saying now. I got what you're saying. Not on an official announcement. Can't predict how many there are because there's no number. Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying now. I have the Umbreon and Sylveon VMAX, and I want the rest. Evolving Skies is probably my favorite set. I'm doing good. Was at the state fair with my family. Crazy how the Umbreon VMAX is like 1 and 2K packs. Yeah, exactly. Pretty crazy. You know, if I could think about a collection of cards to get together, like SIRs and things like that, like I think Prismatic is up there. Like if you get all the Prismatic evolutions, I think that's amazing to have. I think if you get all the evolution VMAXs from Sword and Shield, and the reason why I'm saying it like that is because all the evolution VMAXs are not all in Evolving Skies, unlike Prismatic. And that's where Prismatic actually did really well. All the evolutions are in that one set. But now Sword and Shield, you have to get the Espeon from a different set, which is Fusion Strike. I mean, when you're buying singles, it doesn't really matter, but I feel like they should have all been in one set. The Espeon VMAX that's in Fusion Strike, and then you have the Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon promos that are the VMAXs that are in those collection boxes, and then you have the rest of the evolutions in Evolving Skies. I mean, getting all those together, like I think it's a pretty cool part of any collection, just as much as those prismatic ones. I think they're all pretty cool to have, to be honest. I'm even considering getting them all in Japanese. They're so much cheaper. I think they're like $100 each. I mean, I think they're actually obtainable. I think the Umbreon is the most expensive at like $400. But I could work my way up to that one while grabbing all the other cheap ones. I think some of them even sell for under $100 at times. So would be fun. I have the VMAX Evolution set and a PSA 10. That's crazy. I'll be there. Brew is a goat. Nice, thank you. For example, people are pulling the RGB, but that doesn't mean there's only those three. Could be a black, white, gold, silver out there. Yes, because of the actual secret rarity, right? Because it's not actually like documented to be listed and with a number. I get exactly what you're saying. We're gonna see. We're gonna have to see. It's very possible that there is something else out there, but I understand what you're saying. I just wish the card looked better. Pokemon is not cooked. Not Pokemon. I'm talking about uh collectors and investors. Pokemon is not cooked. It'll be saved by Lorcana's serialized cards. Everyone will move to Lorcana. Pokemon below MSRP gang. I mean, listen, it's not surprising that people are going into Lorcana. I said this before. This happened last year, right? People went into One Piece and people were simply just looking for opportunity. There's a lot of people that are going to continue moving their money from Pokemon onto all these other TCGs, whether it be Lorcana, Pal World, One Piece, Magic the Gathering. They're going to do it. There's a group of people that will continue to just move that money around. But I think if I were to give my opinion, I would say that Pokemon is king. That's just what I think. If I pull one, I'm selling and moving money into something better. Exactly. So am I. I agree. That is my favorite of Pitch Black IR. Oh, really? Nice. I really wanted to pull that one. I finally got it. I have not yet pulled the Slowbro, which sucks. I have the Scarlet and Violet base Armor Rouge at PSA. I hope you get a 10, man. That one's, well, I know that you know. It's really hard to gem. Lucario from MU1 is the best Lucario for sure, fighting Venusaur. That's a really cool card. I think it's an amazing scene. It reminds me of the Charizard from Brilliant Stars. I think it's an amazing, amazing scene. Does it get the recognition or appreciation that it deserves? Probably not. Probably not. Grab that one in Japanese in a 10. So sick. Yeah. And you're also grabbing, for your personal collection, you're grabbing a card that just looks better, much more texture. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm falling behind with the chat, guys. There are almost 60 of you in here, and I'm trying to keep up. And I'm also trying to give you guys your time, right? I'm trying to give you guys my time as you guys always give me. So just keep that in mind. I know some people have gotten frustrated in the past. And of course, while you're here, like the stream, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, I appreciate you guys being here on this Sunday night. You guys make this thing all worth it, man. Thank you. Most Pokemon people are impatient. Most will get nervous and sell early. The truth is that, as I keep saying and I keep mentioning, that this hobby is just driven by emotion. And that alone will make you impatient. It will make you a little erratic, and as you said, nervous. All emotions that trigger different kinds of actions, and FOMO, selling early, like they're all actions or reactions to those emotions. So, okay, question: how you feeling about Darkrai from Pitch Black? I love it. I don't even have to read the rest of your comment, bro. I love the card. I think that it's going to be one of those cards that people will appreciate more down the line. And I that's why I kept ripping Pitch Black. I've opened 70 packs so far. I know you told me you've ripped 100 and you still haven't pulled it. I don't know if you've pulled any SIR at all, but we've pulled exactly 70 packs and we haven't pulled a single SIR, which sucks. So I gave in. I bought the Morpeko. I love that card too. That card looks amazing. That's such a cool looking card. I bought that one. It's on the way, but I have not bought the Darkrai. It's clearly more expensive, but it also is trending down in price. So I'd rather wait for it to hit its bottom and then make a decision there whether I want to rip it, whether I want to buy it. I don't know. I would love to just pull it. That card looks insane. I love it. But the rest of your comment, I'm obsessed with it, and I saw it. Somebody hit it in the right lightning. or lighting and saw the rainbow kind of looked on the hollow. It was crazy. Yeah, it's got to be an amazing looking card, man. In hand, I just can't wait. I can't wait to just own the card. I told my son to hold his black label Moonbryon when it was 9K. Last one sold for 45K. That's insane, bro. Insane. I mean, a card like that, it's almost like the card of the era. It's worth holding. Any card that you could say that it's the card of the era is worth holding for sure. That's just what I think. Singles usually are very volatile, but one like that, it's one worth definitely holding. Stu, what is going on, bro? What up? Thank you for stopping by, man. Bro, they should have made the RGB like the Chinese exclusive Mew. You know what? Yes, yes, the one that there's only 15,000 of those that you needed to be part of that tournament. That Mew is beautiful. But this is what I'm saying. Like, I think they tried too hard to make that card be different. And so they gave it a different look. They just made it a different style, and it's a real flop when it comes to the design of it. But that Chinese 151 Mew that you're talking about, where it's like flying, yeah, I think it's that thing is at like $70,000 right now in a 10, which is insane. Just made 151, 1,151 of those, put them into the 30th, and call it a day. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know that card, check it out. Yeah, yeah, I've definitely seen that card. That one card would have been insane, insane. It was a lottery system. Most who won it keeps it. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was lottery. I'm pretty sure you had to enter a tournament of some kind in China to get it. Yeah, that card is crazy. I remember when it was 3K. Thought for 2 seconds on it, and I was like, no, that's crazy. Now it's crazy. That was a huge f up on my part. Obviously, I mean, you don't know how that's gonna play out though. You don't know what's gonna happen. Honestly, you don't. Chris, what's up, bro? What is up? Thank you for stopping by. What up, Jay? I know this is off topic, but just got back from the LCS and pulled the G-Fred LR plus plus from GDO5 Steel Requiem. Now, I don't know much about Gundam. We spoke about this the last time, and I keep hearing GDO5 like crazy. Like people keep talking about GDO5, but I do know that those are some insane value in those cards. Like they're really expensive. So I hope you're happy that you pulled that card, man. I really do. If we're cooked, that simply means it's time to eat. Mimic Brew, what is up? I let everybody know you're going to be live here on Tuesday, man. I'm so excited for it. Thank you for actually setting that in and getting into here. That's funny. That's such a good line, actually. Brew in the house. They should have tiered those Pikachus. Yeah, 100%. I purchased an almost automatic 10 Pikachu and Zekrom GX Tag Team promo for only $170 today. That's crazy. I mean, you have a good eye for that stuff. There's a lot of guys that aren't as experienced when it comes to looking at cards and knowing whether they're gradable or not. Like you can do that. You're into singles so much, and then you have somebody like Rev who grades a ton as well. Not everybody's gonna have the eye. Just getting accustomed to looking at these cards and picking out cards that will grade well. I try to be very, very picky myself when it comes to buying cards. Usually, if it's a card that I'm going to grade, or like unlike right now with the Rayquazas that I was talking about, there's no real grading opportunity at the moment. So I'd rather buy the card, let it ride up until December November until the set finally releases, and use it as store credit and maybe buy into something else. I'd rather do that just because at the moment there isn't a way to grade. The only card that I have considered grading is this one, because this one looks like so clean. This card looks so clean, and it's really well centered. Even the back, I'm just double checking. I'm pretty sure the back, it does have some kind of a speck on it, and I did show this in the Discord. Centering is absolutely insane, but it does have a very, very little speck, and it almost looks like something you can wipe away, but I don't know exactly what it is. I don't know if you could see it. Let's see if it's so funny that this thing was focusing really well, and now it's not. There you go. You could actually see it. There's a little speck on the top that doesn't look like something that can be wiped off. It looks like it's like a lack of ink there. That's the only thing on this card. Outside of that, it's like perfect. So I don't know if it would get a 10. I don't know if that would stop it from getting a 10 or not. So that's the only reason why I'm holding back on that card getting graded. I'd love to grade it though if I could. Brew, you find any Zekrom instant buy you mentioned? Oh, it's confused now. You mentioned the Zekrom card in one of your last videos, a promo. Okay. I'm all right. What's going on though? Uh, Move some of my money into Gundam card game, best quality of cards in the TCG. I'm a huge fan. I mean, I don't doubt that they have a good quality card, but just thinking about the longevity and how long it's going to be around, and the collectors in there, the just the fan base, the IP, Pokemon is king to me. I think a lot of people agree. But I also see that there's clearly a much bigger fan base for Gundam than I thought, to be honest. I did watch Gundam when I was a kid. It was on TV. There were TV shows, but yeah, we'll have to see how those age, to be honest. Those goth girls got me thinking about playing Magic again, though. You're crazy. You're nuts. People aren't going into Lorcana. It's the same five people selling to each other on TCG Player. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, personally, I try to stick to the things that I know and I understand. I wasn't a big Disney kid. Like, I was one of those few kids that would get upset if there was like a Disney thing put on TV. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like the movies. I did like Dragon Ball Z. I did like, even Power Rangers when I was a little kid. I did like things like Thundercats, of course, Pokemon, Digimon. What else? For the most part, that's mostly it. There was other things, maybe Transformers as well. I also, of course, watched some One Piece, and Full Metal Alchemist, a few other ones, Yu Yu Hakusho, as well, like just things like that. But I didn't really like Lorcana, so I stay away from it. If I don't understand it, if I don't have some kind of experience or understanding of it, I'm not going to go into it. No, hell no, bro. Those futuristic rares rates are like 1 in 90 packs. There's no world that it's 1,400 a card. Yeah, exactly. Exactly my point. But FOMO is crazy. That's why the thumbnail says, "Are we cooked?" It was just for the collector base, for the people that are buying. Are these people cooked? Are we cooked as buyers? I think that right now we are. If we bunch them all together with us, right? Because as individuals, we make different decisions. We make our own decisions. I wouldn't buy it. But if we bunch ourselves together as collectors and we look at how many people are buying and FOMOing into the 30th, I think we're a little cooked right now. I think we are, man. Lorcana is not it. It has been trying to make inroads and kept falling. Yeah. Jay, I really wish that freaking Giratina leaked in Pitch Black was real. Yeah, that hurt. Somebody made a fake Giratina for Pitch Black and it looked so good. So good. And it ended up being fake. And I was genuinely upset. And what's crazy is that it would have fit. It would have fit in the set. Just for the sake of it, I'm gonna try to look it up because I know somebody has it, had it, maybe had it on their page, on their Instagram page, and that would be Inept. Inept, I don't know if he's here. He usually does stop by, but he did have it posted on his page. I did comment on it and let him know that it wasn't real. So it's possible he removed it. But the card looked amazing. So if it is here, I'm hoping he still got it here. I'm not finding it. So it might just be fake. Yeah, I think he removed it after I told him it was fake. But wow, that card looked so good. And it would have been just a masterpiece of a card, and it would have been a great addition to Pitch Black. Like, I'm just giving it another look real quick and hoping that I see it somewhere over here. Um, but I don't see it. I think it's gone. I think it's gone. Maybe he has it in his reels. Maybe it was a reel. Let me see. One more gander. Guys, just 1 second. Bear with me. I'm trying to find that card in case most of you didn't see it. But I think it's gone. If he was in the chat, he probably does still have the photo, if anything. And he'd probably share it. I had the photo. I don't know what I did with it, though. Yeah, it's not here. Damn, that would have been cool to show. It was a really nice card. Like, I really wish it was real. But I think we find ourselves wishing a lot of these fake cards were real because these designs are insane. I definitely will not buy into another TCG when I haven't even hit my goals with Pokemon Sealed. Pokemon is just where my heart is. Yeah, 100%. Me too. There is one other TCG that is not out yet that I could say my heart will be in, and that is Naruto. I've watched that anime like 4 times now. I love that anime. The storytelling it is, the lessons it teaches, the well-written story is just amazing. I think it's funny when you watch the show, it almost feels like you're Naruto. If you aren't somebody that was born with a silver spoon, and was just well off from the start, especially that, and if you didn't have so many people around you growing up that you really wanted that could help guide you, I think anybody can feel like they're Naruto, and that just makes it so powerful. If you guys haven't watched it, I would definitely suggest watching Naruto. First booster box I ever bought was Pitch Black. I love Darkrai, not the Mega as much, but I do like the SIR. The booster box came pretty badly banged up from the PC. I think yeah, mine didn't have the greatest condition from the Pokemon Center either, sadly. Uh be worth it to try and trade it to somebody who would probably open it or just open it ourselves, try to pull the Darkrai. I mean, I did rip mine. As I said so many times in the past, I'm gonna enjoy this hobby. I'm gonna rip, and I do, So I tried to. That was the first thing I actually ripped. I was thinking, I'm gonna pull some kind of an SIR. I got none. I just want to let you know I got none. So if you want to, go ahead and rip it, you can. If you want to go ahead and maybe trade it in, you could even trade it in as store credit and then pay the rest of the Darkrai off. I think the Darkrai is in the low 200s. So if market price for that Pitch Black, I think it's like 180 or 170 right now. Just to take a quick look, um, Pitch Black, where are we? Just to look at the cost of the card. If what you really want is just a card, right? Let's see. If what you really want is just a card, it's down to $212. You could trade in the box at 180 or 170. I mean, they might uh, just give you 80% worth or 90%, and you can just pay the rest if you're willing to do it. If you really want the card that bad. It all depends on what you're looking for. The LR plus plus are the most difficult to pull off. Okay, I did not know that. It's hard to remember because I don't really pay attention to Gundam. What? Yo, what is going on here, bro? Like, what do you do? Who do you know? I have that Chinese Mew that may be out of reach, but if you believe in Chinese exclusive, there's plenty of opportunities to invest. That is nuts. What the hell? Bro, how did you get that card, man? That's crazy. Are you excited about the One Piece OP17 or Power World entering the TCG space? Um, if I'm being honest, personally, I don't really acknowledge Power World entering the TCG space. That's just me. I don't really have love for it. I don't really know anything about it. One Piece, it is one of the big three when it comes to anime. I expect it to make some kind of a big splash whenever you talk about One Piece. Fan base for that thing is huge, and it continues to grow. So One Piece is unlike Pal World at all. I don't think Pal World is going to be here for too long. I could be wrong. I just don't see it. Every card looks exactly the same. It's just I don't know. Well, we'll have to see what happens. That's a really hard thing to think about. But no, I'm not excited for Power World. That's just me. One Piece, though. I mean, I don't own any One Piece. I don't buy any One Piece. But I do think One Piece is cool. Not a bad idea to trade it. Yeah. What's up, Brandon? Yes, sir. He's here. Snack bread. Check your DMs. Do you have it? Is that what you're telling me right now? Are you sending me the card? I got you. I got you. I'll try my best. I'll try my best. I'll try my best. I'll try my best. All right. Um, I'll take Pokemon crashes when GTA releases. What? What does one thing have to do with the other? You're gonna buy. Sorry. What does that have to do with Pokemon? You're gonna buy GTA one time. You're gonna continue buying Pokemon. GTA is a thing you buy once. I have the same spec on my shiny Ray. J super annoying. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know, Rev. Let's see. The Celestial Storm, Rainbow Ray is fire. Yeah, the Celestial Storm stuff is expensive though. For sure. RGPs will be north of 10K starting. Yeah, starting for sure. Yeah, I'll instant. That's an instant flip. Gundam's IPs have been around 47 years. Bandai owns it, and they won't let it fail. TCG scene is growing, and the competition scene. Yes, I get it, but it's the desirability for the IP. The average. I don't really. I've literally outside of like here, I've never met somebody that said something about the Gundam thing. They love Gundam. I've seen some fan art, and I wish so bad Pokemon would hire these people. I wish fake cards were real too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I discussed that with my brother as well. My brother he agrees they should pay them. Just check Discord. I found the Giratina. Oh, nice. Let's see. Where'd you send it? Where did you send it? Oh, it was a DM. Here it is. This was the card. This is a little bit of a more of a blurry image. Um, I had a better quality image when I first found it, but look at this thing. Look at this thing is amazing. This thing is amazing. This would have been such a cool card. Such a great addition to Pitch Black. With this, with like the scene, it would have been absolutely amazing. Um, I didn't realize Darker was that low. Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm glad I could help, man. Honestly, anyone here have a dark ride? They want a booster box of Pitch Black for cash. I'm not sponsored by auctions. Catch 'em all collectibles, fanatics alive. Yeah, Dios always finds himself with some good deals there. Magic the Gathering has better pickups currently than Pokemon with its 35th anniversary next year, and no one is talking about it. Well, it's not that nobody's talking about it. I just primarily focus on Pokemon. I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering, so I don't keep up with it at all, to be honest. Dragon Exalted Full Art Ray looks the best. Really? The Dragon Exalted Full Art Ray. Let's look that up real quick. Let's see what we get. Oh yes, I do like this one. Well, you knew I like this one already. I told you this several times. Um, I just want to get a nice image of the card. Yeah, this one right here. I mean, this doesn't do it any justice, to be honest. It is a digital image, um, but the actual card with the texturing and the way that it just shines, this card looks so good. I like this card a lot. It's not cheap though. Not a cheap card. Even on here on price charting where it doesn't uh, consider conditioning, it just gives you an average sale price for eBay sales. But we're seeing here, like, look at this last one, $270. We have some in the 150 range, another one here at 350, 525. Like, so this is such an expensive card, and it's $4,377 in the 10. It's a really, really nice card. Really nice card. It's for me, like when it comes to the full arts, probably the best looking one. All OD my what? All DMI vintage and mid-era cards are still going up by a lot. So why Ren? I don't know what you're trying to say there. They saying that Pokemon is cooked. I'm not saying I don't think Pokemon is cooked. I don't think that it's crashing. I'm just I if you're talking about my thumbnail, for example, I'm saying as the collector base and Pokemon who are buying in, are we cooked when people are FOMOing into the 30th this early at these prices? No, I think we are at the moment. When it comes to the Pokemon hobby, the Pokemon market, I don't think we're cooked. I don't think it's crashing. I think we're dealing with a pullback, some kind of a slowdown that's reasonable, right? People have been on vacation for some time, and at some point, you should expect some kind of a correction. It doesn't matter what kind of word you put on it, right? You could call it a slowdown. You could call it people can call it a crash. Let them. It doesn't matter, or you can call it a correction. A correction is something that you should be expecting in all kinds of investments. At some point, with all these highs we've been seeing, with all this price appreciation, you should be experiencing some kind of a correction because it can't just keep going up. The problem with fan art cards is them selling them and using Pokemon's IP. It's nasty work that can end very badly for people doing it. I what I think he was trying to talk about, which I have discussed before, is people having the opportunity, people as artists having the opportunity to actually draw these cards and actually like send them off to Pokemon maybe and maybe having them get put into some kind of a competition where whoever draws the best card can have them put into a set and maybe they pay them and maybe they gain some kind of reputation or they get some kind of recognition for being this artist. I think that'd be really cool. I do know, of course, Pokemon has their well-established artists from the past, but I think there are so many good artists out there. I think the opportunity, I guess, could be open to more people. It would be nice. We have heard, that Pokemon was going to have a like a flying evolution, for example, or I don't know what style it was going to be. Was it going to be a flying, or like an air, or like a wind type? I don't know what it was going to be, but it was definitely going to have wings. And there are some really, really nice fan arts out there. And Pokemon ended up canceling that because of there being too many fan arts and being a possible uh a thing where they could get themselves involved in some kind of a lawsuit, like a copyright issue, because they're going to look too similar. And I think Pokemon realized that the designs out there, there are like too many out there for them to try to make up an original one. So I understand why they did cancel that. So I wish that wasn't the case, but mine could get an 8 and it'll be 1.6K. That's crazy. That is so crazy. I've noticed many TCGs have big releases coming within the 1 to 3 months. It may have been coordinated or not, but I can easily see TCG markets picking up after the summer slowdown. It could be. I also think that a lot of these TCGs do like to line themselves up with their competitors to see how things pan out and maybe even dull down the hype for Pokemon or dull down the hype for other TCGs out there. It's very possible. These TCGs, you shouldn't be surprised if that happens. We see this happen all the time with all different kinds of businesses through commercials or different kinds of advertisements. They try to kind of dull the other one out and trying to overshadow them and trying to gain that attention towards them. While TCGs are hot right now, I think every TCG would try to take advantage right now and just do whatever they can to gain popularity or just sell as much as possible. Illustrator artist won the chance to do the Rayquaza. That was big for him. Yeah, I wish there was more of that, right? I think Pokemon could definitely open that up for more people and give them that opportunity. There's so many people that actually do love Pokemon, actually love being artists out there, and I think it would be really fun. I think it'd be just fun to see, what if they did something where they submit these cards onto a website and the fans decide. The fans actually took a vote. That'd be pretty cool for it to happen once in a while. What if that happened once a year? I don't think that's too much to ask. I think that would be pretty cool, and it would just put a different spin on things, and I think people would have a lot of fun doing it. So yeah, it'd be cool. I've seen so many different kinds of cards. For example, the Mega Dragonite from Ascended Heroes, like it's cool. Um, Not the card itself, but just the design is not cool. The card is cool. I don't like the design. I don't like the idea where somebody said, "Hey, let's throw some wings on its head." Horrible design. Honestly, horrible design. In my opinion, right? But then I saw another fan art design of what the Mega Dragonite could be, and it looked like he had like half a jacket on, but the jacket was in the style of Lance, the Dragon Trainer. So it like paid homage to Lance, and it made him look so cool. If I actually um find the card, which I think I could, let me see. Mega Dragonite. If I see the card real quick, I will show it. It's such a cool looking card, and I love that card. It looks so good. It would have been such a cool design overall. They could have done whatever they wanted when it comes to like the design of the card after the initial creation of the design. Um, Let me just see real quick. Where is it? You know what? I should go to exactly where it is that I saw it, and it was on Reddit. So I'm gonna go on Reddit in a little bit and look it up. Kevin, I'm starting to see vendors selling to other vendors. Look like they don't even hold the cards. They just bought for 2 minutes before they send the stack to another table and sell. I'm not surprised. These guys, I said in the past, these guys have an itch. They have an itch all the time. They're not people who want to hold anything. They're not people who you should always like. Don't be surprised if you don't see them holding sealed, right? It makes sense. They don't want to hold anything. Most of them don't. They just want to churn and burn as much as possible. And actually, here we are. I found it real quick, guys. Um, you see, it's titled Mega Dragonite Redesign. Look at this. This is so cool. This Mega Dragonite. Oh my goodness. This is what we got, and this is what we deserved. This is so sick. Like, come on. Like they could have paid this guy. Could have paid this guy, right? For this design, at least. But I guess maybe Pokemon would have to pay this guy every time they utilize the design. But I think Pokemon could probably pay, not pay, but buy the design off of them, right? So they wouldn't have to do that. But would have been a really cool design. Question: when the next block goes out of print, what will that mean for the Scarlet and Violet era? People are not really talking about the early SV block ending. Yeah, I mean, eventually, I think eventually it should hit. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've spoken about this before in a video myself, but I know people don't really talk about it much for sure. Um, maybe I should bring it up again. It's clear that eventually you'll be thinking about Scarlet and Violet as you think about Sword and Shield. And one day you'll think about Scarlet and Violet the same exact way that you think about the Sun and Moon era, right? It'll just be that old. And I think people will look back at one of the greatest eras we've ever had. You know, Sun and Moon was great for its own reasons. Sword and Shield was as well. And Scarlet and Violet will also be really great down the line. I think people will look back at Scarlet and Violet and just wish they had more. In the reality of it, I think that really will be the case. And sadly, now it's probably a little late for most people because the entry points really aren't there. Now, if you're looking at good entry points, you kind of have to start looking elsewhere, right? You got to start kind of focusing on the mega block and looking at opportunities there because Scarlet and Violet boxes are getting expensive, right? The cheapest box is Paradox Rift, and it's like 276. I know in comparison to the other boxes, it's cheap, but in reality, it's not. 276 for a box is not cheap. And that's the lower end of boxes, right? The ones that aren't as desired. So crazy. Like, wow, you made 5%. Yeah, 100%. These guys, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to think of the vendors that are just doing all that kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know what to think about them. I don't know what they I don't know what are you in here for? I know you're in here to make money, but like I feel like there's almost rights and wrong ways to go about it, but I don't know. These guys are not surprising sometimes. When I get the like that bad taste in my mouth from these vendors, I walk away. And I say it all the time. There are so many vendors out there, so many products out there. I don't have a problem going to the next guy, and looking for that card elsewhere. The SV is my favorite era of all time. It is a great era, to be honest. It introduced so much into the hobby. It's changed everything. And like moving forward, it really has changed everything. The mega block doesn't look different from what we have in the Scarlet and Violet era. Yeah, we have mega Pokemon, and we do have these gold cards, which people don't really love. Outside of that, it's basically Scarlet and Violet 2.0. Scarlet and Violet introduced illustration rares. That was a huge win. SIRs also. Yeah, exactly. Sword and Shield did have their trainer galleries, which is somewhat similar to like your illustration rares, but it definitely created its own thing. It did really well. It changed things. Like I said, it's definitely changed things. Do you think long-term investment better Ascended Heroes or Prismatic? So, I mean, at the moment, Prismatic. I think you'll find yourself with better entry points for Ascended Heroes down the line. Prismatic has had all these insane reprints, and at some point they're gonna stop. Sooner rather than later, they're gonna stop. And then you're gonna find yourself with Ascended Heroes reprints, whether it be collection boxes or booster bundles or things like that. You're gonna find yourself with much more Ascended Heroes down the line. It makes sense that Pokemon stopped printing a lot of these other products due to the fact that they focused heavily on the 30th anniversary. If you think about like all the ancillary products, all the packs, they needed a lot of time for the 30th anniversary. And that's probably the reason why it took them so long to reprint booster boxes. Like, eventually Ascended Heroes will get a reprint. The ETBs and ancillary products, I feel like you will have a better opportunity down the line while Prismatic will eventually, won't be within reach at some point. Do the last three eras, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, and Mega Evolution, dude, we're so spoiled. Yeah, it, it's it's the reason why you hear so many people saying, this set is mid. Pitch Black is mid, Chaos Rising is mid. We've gotten so spoiled. A lot of people don't think back to those early Sword and Shield sets that we got, right? Rebel Clash, Sword and Shield base, even Vivid Voltage sucked. Shining Fates was pretty bad as well. If you look back to Sun and Moon, a lot of the Sun and Moon sets were really bad outside of the like last four, right? Which was Team Up, Cosmic, um, and the other ones that I can't even remember right now. But a lot of them were horrible. A lot of them people hated. So it's so funny. As of right now, if you compare eras, these eras would completely tear those other eras apart. Pretty crazy. The art is fantastic. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Ascended Heroes is most definitely getting reprints. There's no world that doesn't happen. Like I said before, I think people got so used to see Pokemon not reprint items to the point where they believed that we weren't getting anything down the line. And that really was the furthest thing from the truth. People actually made fun of me when I talked about Destined Rivals reprints. Um, and they made it seem like they were never going to come. And there were numerous comments in my videos about reprints saying that I was crazy and they weren't reprinting anything. And it was just like, bro, like what changed? What with what Pokemon has been doing nonstop for years? Where did that change? Where did they say that they weren't going to reprint anything? Like it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Exactly. I did some videos on mid-era stuff, and if Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, Pitch Black would have been released back then people would have thought they were the best sets era. 100%. 100%, especially with the art, the way these cards are designed now. Yeah, 100%. 110%. Yeah, we're spoiled. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Unified Minds and Unbroken Bonds. Yes. Outside of those, a lot of those other sets aren't well loved, and looking at everything that we have here, like even this card that I talk about nonstop, this Morpeko, like this is such a beautiful card, man. Like this card would have stood out back then a lot more, and it would have been more valuable than whatever it is right now. Like this card is so nice. It's such a beautiful card. Um, but yeah, we're incredibly spoiled with all that, and then the only thing that is making it a little difficult right now is really the scalpers and the botters. Did Pokemon fail with Prismatic, or would you say they made it available for everyone to get? I don't think they failed at all. That thing was everywhere, bro. Like it was actually everywhere. ETBs, 3-pack blisters, booster bundles, SPCs, poster collection boxes, numerous reprints in numerous big box stores. It was at every LGS. I don't think so. It wasn't Pokemon's fault that these boxes were high in demand. It wasn't their fault that they were over $100 or even 150. It was not Pokemon's fault. What could Pokemon really do about it? You know, I don't think Pokemon had any control over that. They put the product out. They send it to these big box stores, and then these scalpers and botters, they get their hand on it, and then it creates this false sense of scarcity. It creates this false sense of scarcity that makes you believe they're not available. I've never seen. I'm gonna get to you right now, and I'm gonna tell you because I have. Um, there is one thing that I was just thinking about that I want to touch up on in a second, and it may be a video, but I want to know what you guys think here live. Um, Pokemon gave Prismatic the VIP treatment. Yeah, 100%, 100%. I never seen Prismatic in a store. I actually have. The I've told you guys in videos and in the Discord that I've ripped with my fiance. We've ripped like over 200 packs, which was all MSRP. Outside of wait, I bought an SPC. I can't remember if that was MSRP or not. Because I can't remember, I'm gonna ignore the SPC. Everything else MSRP. I have gone into stores and bought several ETBs, several 3-pack blisters, and came home and ripped them all. So I definitely have seen them, and you know what? There has been a lot available. I believe too many new people entered the hobby because of Prismatic, and I don't know if the hobby 2x or 10x in term of collectors, but it changed things. I agree. I think so too, 100%. 151 did it, Surging Sparks did it, and maybe Surging Sparks was just a fuel, and just Prismatic just lit the whole thing on fire. I think Ascended Heroes has a lot of great cards, even compared to Prismatic or other sets. Yes, 100%. Ascended Heroes is one of the best sets we've had in recent times. Like, it's crazy. Like, Ascended Heroes is just such a stacked set. Like, Pokemon knew what they were doing. And it's so funny how some of these sets don't have that many hits, but Ascended Heroes is just completely stacked. It's more than 2x for sure. So, real quick, I want you, because I'm going to make a video about this. I want you guys to tell me live what you think. Someone said in another stream earlier today, and they actually said it in my stream in the past. They said it in another stream this morning, in Chuck's stream. He said scalpers are important in the Pokemon market. He said it's similar to spiders. I hate them, but killing them would absolutely destroy the ecosystem. Now, you guys tell me. I want you guys to tell me what you think, because I have my thoughts on it. Jay, you think right now 151 is a sell? I think yes. And the reason why is because it's going to get harder and harder to sell the more expensive it gets. That's just my opinion. Some people want to keep on holding 151 until, I don't know, until it's to the moon, you know? Um, I don't know. You never know when the right time to sell is, because some people will sell and then be like, wow, I should have held that. I sold it for $400 and now it's $600. But in reality, how much harder is it sell it? Is it harder for you to sell at 600? You know, we talk about this all the time. The pool of people that are in the hobby that can afford those price points gets smaller and smaller every single time, the more expensive it gets. So let me know what you guys think about that, guys. Is Are scalpers, including botters, of course, are they important to the Pokemon market, I guess, ecosystem? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think they're good, because somebody believes that they're good, but I have my opinion on it. Scalpers are just a part of the ecosystem. I have a bigger problem with scalpers who use the bot route, not the little guys. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that's true too. The people who go in stores and just buy everything up, they how much do they really buy? They usually have like 8 to 10 ETBs displayed, you know, poster collections. I just use the word scalpers because everyone uses scalpers. But you're right, 100% on the little guys there. I agree. If scalpers don't want it, nobody does. Hmm. So here's what I think. Emmanuel says, "What do you think about the RGB?" Okay, before I get to you, I'm gonna say what I think. So here's what I think. I think that even though botters and scalpers altogether create this like false sense of scarcity, and it is a 100% false sense of scarcity, because they're still going to get listed on the secondary market, and up until that product gets eaten up off the market, it's not going to allow a lot of this product to move. If you realize, when we look at prices on TCG Player, and you're seeing a lot of stagnation, and they're still being buy volume, and for some reason these items end up being flat, and they just have this stagnant trajectory, it's because we still have a ton of product available. It's not just that simple that it's getting bought off of websites. It still has to get eaten up. You know, it still has to get eaten up off the secondary market. It still has to actually become scarce and age. And that, sorry about that. And that does not um change when the scalpers and botters buy it all up. That the product is still out there. You know, it's still available, and it still makes it so that it is not scarce. It is only, think about this, guys. If scalpers aren't around, if botters aren't around, and they don't create this false sense of scarcity, and so then prices are not incredibly inflated like we're seeing on the secondary market, right? It actually allows the average collector to buy and rip and actually eat through the product and actually create scarcity. Just think about that, real scarcity. Buying in at lower prices will allow the average collector to actually rip the product, to actually create scarcity outside of what we're seeing with the botters and the scalpers that do not allow that scarcity to actually be real. They still have to get bought off the secondary market and they still have to get eaten up and ripped. That's my opinion on that. And I thought it was a really interesting thing to say. I mean, it wasn't a horrible take at all, but after I really thought about it, it didn't I didn't agree with it. And I just was wondering what most people thought. Now back to Emmanuel. Sorry about that, brother. What do you think about the RGB cards pull rate? How often do you think they'll be found? I think 1 in 250 to 300 packs. So people are saying 1 in 10,000. I'm gonna at least go with what we've had in recent times with gold cards, and I'm gonna say 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 2,000, somewhere around there. Scalpers are cancers. How I see it, bro. If as many people weren't in the hobby, ripping chase cards would be insane. Think about how One Piece card chases are crazy because there are so few packs to rip between so many people. Yeah, but outside of the singles, when it comes to the sealed product, if there are a ton available, if you're seeing how many are being listed on TCG Player and it isn't actually scarce, it doesn't usually allow the prices to move, and you reach that ceiling much faster. Not only do you reach the ceiling much faster, your entry point is higher. It just isn't the greatest thing for a long-term hold at all. It doesn't allow real age. It doesn't allow real scarcity. It doesn't really give you the best scenario for you to win. You want to buy at better entry points. You don't want to buy at 2 to 3x MSRP at release. It just isn't the way you want to go about it when it comes to like holding long term. Which is worse, the scalper or PSA? I mean, those are two totally different things, right? PSA has, of course, been taking advantage of the community. And the sad thing is that a mosquito? Guys, I'm so sorry if that was loud. There was a mosquito in here. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. Damn, that must have been so loud. I really apologize for that, guys. I really apologize. Yeah, scalpers and PSA, like I said, has been taking advantage of the community. And in reality, so are scalpers. They're finding ways to buy product before you can buy and then flipping it. But you know, that gets done with so many different things. Clothing, sneakers, like everything. I'm gonna try One Piece release event since Pokemon Delta Rain event is so far away. Yeah, it sucks. I do hate that we have this such a big gap between now whatever we had released last, which is Pitch Black, all the way until Delta Rain. It really sucks. Can't love the games, then hate the scalpers. Like I said, if you think about what I'm saying, you will eventually see the gains. You will have true scarcity. You will have like true price appreciation, right? And you would have had lower entry points, which actually means even bigger gains, right? If you enter at 200% and you get to 300, it ain't the same as entering at 50%. Scalpers to spiders, not the same. Scalping is not necessary for our hobby to thrive. Yeah, I agree. If we could wait 3 to 5 years, we'd make all the money, and the entry point would be MSRP or lower for full ultra modern. They're needed. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Scalpers weren't around for so much of Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet stuff I have. That's exactly why those people that were involved in Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet are the only ones really winning because they were able to buy these booster boxes at $80, $90. This is my point exactly. And on top of that, if you look at all these other boxes, they're much more scarce than the boxes that the scalpers and botters were able to get their hands on because they're actually ripped through. They're actually gone. Let it age and look at it now. Yeah. Patience is key. Scalping is a nuance. I agree. Yeah, man. I wasn't going to rip a Destiny ETB, but at this price, hell yeah, I'll rip two. Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm trying to say. This is the mindset of the collector. They're not going to buy at secondary prices, and if they do, they're not going to rip it. But at MSRP, under MSRP, decent prices. Now we're talking about a whole different ball game, creating real scarcity. This is what we need, guys. Well, believe it or not, if this stuff ages but it doesn't become scarce, you won't see as much price appreciation. It's got to get ripped. It's got to get eaten through. I'm controlling what I can control and stop worrying about what other people do when it comes to drops. All the content creators that pump drops are also part of the problem. I guess so. I mean, yes and no. There are people that do want opportunities, and if a content creator can help them, I get it. Jay, I swear you was here 2023, 24. I swear when it was all on Pokemon Center all day, long fusion strikes over Tempest Lost Origin was never scalped. Those sets have done great. Exactly. Exactly. You know what? I didn't have to be here in 2023. I was here 2024. I was able to buy even like there was in 2024 20 at the end of 2024, at the beginning of 2025, when everything was still taking off, I remember in March or May, it's one of these two months. It was March or May. You were still able to buy Temporal Forces booster boxes, Astro Radiance, Pokemon Center ETBs, the Temporal Forces, Pokemon Center ETBs. Yes, they aren't the most loved sets, but they were still available. Now it doesn't matter what drops on there; it's instantly gone. It's an instant buy for whoever just sees it. Regular everyday people are not tuned in to YouTube. It is the same people complaining about scalpers who pump drops and notify services. Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's crazy. A lot of this stuff has really just taken over the market, to be honest. Poke Hobbs, I agree. I got in during Sword and Shield era, bought Evolving Skies case from a collector for 950. The cases were sitting there for a while. Also, booster boxes were selling for $90 to $120. Wow, pretty great time to be around. Is clearing out a store scalping during a bear market? I guess it is, right? You're not making it available for everybody else. But that's not the point. The point is just having it available to you at a decent price where people are actually ripping them, you know? It, honestly, like it really would make a difference. And it would make a difference for your entry point as well, which just like I said, makes room for just better gains. For Pokemon Center, you can get up to 4 ETBs. Yes, and you would get them in a sealed case. And ETBs were sitting on the site for days and weeks. Bots and queues didn't exist until Prismatic came out. Yes. Last year, I was ashamed to say, thank the scalper. Cost £20 more at ETB, but fact is, it saved me $15 in fuel, and you can only buy one or two in the shop. All this quantity limits bring back no limit orders. Yeah, I agree. I would love for those times to come back. You want to try this? It's really good. Jacob, in my area, bro, there is a Facebook group. If there's anything out there it's gone. Don't matter if it's pitch black or perfect order. Yeah, 100%. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Rip and shippers are the best thing for long-term holders. And you know why? Because they're ripping through the product. It's because they're ripping through the product. I'm telling you, this is what is needed for true scarcity to be around. For true scarcity and for it to age well with better entry points. I was able to cop 2 cases of 4 prismatic Pokemon Center ones, and then they capped the limit at 2, and then the bots and queues afterwards are the norm. Yeah, I mean, you got lucky. I'll tell you that. I wasn't one of those guys that got lucky. You know what's so sad? I'm gonna tell you this right here. This is what was so sad. I wanted to pre-order Prismatic Evolutions, and I could not because, like I said before, I was a plumber in construction, and we were working on an MRI room. And if you know anything about an MRI room, the walls are lined with lead. The walls are lined with lead. And yes, there's plumbing in medical rooms, right? If you look at like where you get your oxygen from, and you look at the other lines that have suction that they use for like fluids and stuff like that. And then you have another hydraulic line that pushes air into those, hydraulic devices that they use during like procedures, medical procedures, right? So yes, there's plumbing in there. So I was in that room while pre-orders dropped, and I didn't get any service, I didn't get any notification or nothing, sadly. So it sucked for me. You at least got lucky with that, man. Good for you. I remember a guy flexing. He cleared a shelf of Journey Together sleeves when Striker tins with Evolving Skies were sitting right next to them. He didn't know what were in them, bro. He didn't know what he was missing. And I know you picked up a ton of those. Good for you. Dios, the new membership, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Dios. I really appreciate it. I mean, Dios, after finding my channel, has been a great supporter and has been in the Discord. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Jay, what about kids 10 and under who want to find some packs? I've noticed my son's friends always told me they want to open some packs, but they never find them anywhere. It sucks for the young ones. Yeah, it does suck. Like I said, man, I truly feel like this stuff should be available to everybody. And the kids are part of that. The kids are part of the product actually being eaten up. They'll rip the packs and they'll get to enjoy the packs. They'll create nostalgia, right? It's part of what it's supposed to be. I wish that was the case. You know, I've talked to my fiance about scenarios because, of course, you guys know that I want to vend, and right now that just the situation isn't there for it. And I've created scenarios for my fiance where, you know, I ask a kid like, "What's your favorite Pokemon?" And if he gives me a Pokemon that I have a pack of that he can rip, I'd gladly give him one pack for free because I can't do it for everybody. But at least for the kids, I can give them one pack each, you know, and they could rip something. And then other people, you know, if they rip in my at my table, maybe I'll give them to them at a discount and things like that. So I've like thought of scenarios where people could or kids could actually enjoy some of these things, right? So it sucks, man, and it's for that reason alone. And I know why you're saying this because I'm thinking the same thing, and that's why I'd love to give a kid an opportunity to rip. Rev has it better than all of us combined. He lives in in Texas, no scalpers in sight. You know what's funny? I think I remember Rev used to be able to go to his like Dollar General and Walmart and Family Dollar and just be able to pick up anything he wanted. And then at one point, he just told me like it's over. It automatically stopped. Dios with the $1 super chat, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. You don't have to give me any money. You being here is more than enough. You have become like one of the top supporters of the channel. I truly do appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Brew, they have made their way here. See, I knew it, but many are hurting because they cleared the shelves in the last three sets, and most are now underwater. You know what? I know that we feel that way, but I don't think they're underwater because these ETBs are still selling above MSRP. If they bought at $50 per ETB, they're still selling Chaos Rising at $65, right? Like if I go, right, if we take a trip together down TCG player memory lane, I'm pretty sure none of these ETBs are at MSRP, right? They're still able to sell these. Look, $73. What are they making? 20 bucks on the ETB. If we look at Chaos Rising ETBs, maybe Perfect Order gets really close. I think these are like 65. No, come on, bro. $65. So maybe $10 if we add in tax. But they're still up. You know what I'm saying? They're still up. They haven't actually lost money. Let's see Perfect Order. Perfect Order, $69. They're still up even on Perfect Order. You know, it's so crazy. Like it feels like maybe, you know, all if we're being honest, all that's true is that they're not having the same gains that they had before, you know? And but they're still able to profit. So I think until that time is over, they're gonna keep coming. I live in Texas. Yes, he does. Yeah, they're scalpers. It was late to hit us here, but it's cooked here just like everywhere else. Yeah. Oh. Now Pokemon isn't for kids anymore. It's an asset class. Roblox is for kids. Yeah, it could be both. It could genuinely be both. It could be available for kids, for people to rip, so that it becomes scarce, and you just hold. You know, it could be that people just hold 3 to 5 years. Let the stuff actually age. Let it actually become scarce. It could really be both. And I wish there was just a time where that could be it. You know, a lot of the botters in reality are the guys that were buying up sneakers, and I know this for a fact. So uh, they have they had ruined their own hobby, and now they're here. Just a little north of Dallas. Daughter lives in Louisville. I know nothing about Texas. I go to the NTX card show now. I mean, often, and we'll be at Card Party over Labor Day weekend. That's pretty cool. I hope you. I don't know if you plan on filming. I mean, if you don't, it's cool. Just enjoy your time. Uh, I'd love to see it if you do. If you do film, if they have to ship stuff, they're not making money. Oh yeah, well that could be true, but a lot of these guys also sell locally, right? And people do buy. Pokehops thinking of doing likewise. Nice. I hope you guys have a blast. Um, Guys, I think I'm going to be ending the live here. It is 10 o'clock. We've been live for 2 hours. I know I normally go live up until 11 p.m. at night, but I am a little more tired today than I am on all those other Sundays where I usually stream. But guys, there's 50 of you in here. This is a lot. You know, I mean, we've developed some kind of an average here where we're getting somewhere from like 45 to 55, and I had a high, I guess you could say, of 70. It's pretty insane how this community has grown, how many more people have been visiting my channel during live streams. I appreciate you guys all. I mean, this is not possible without you guys. It's so much fun. You know, this is one of the most, if not probably the most fun part of content creating. And of course, it always goes. It doesn't even end here. It usually travels on back to the Discord, and we continue, you know, having conversations there, and even tomorrow and every other day after that. But thank you guys for being here, man. For sure, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate it. It really does help. If you haven't already, please sub. As James from the Alamo City is saying, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And Poke Hobbs is a new addition to the family. He's a great dude. I'm gonna have him live on Thursday, and I'm gonna repeat it again this Tuesday. I'm gonna have Mimic Brew live on here. On Wednesday, I'm going to be over on Krabby Cards' channel. I don't know what time yet. As a matter of fact, just stay tuned real quick. I think he messaged me on Instagram because I was asking him what time that will be. If you guys do know who Krabby Cards is, he's a really nice guy as well. Where is he? Let's see. He says my wife. So probably. So 10 p.m. It is a bit late for me. But I already agreed to it, so I will just stick to it, and I will be on Krabby Cards show at 10 p.m. And then I will not be live on Thursday because I feel like that's too many lives back to back, and I feel like giving, you know, myself a break and also giving time to my fiance. These lives take up a lot of time. And so for that reason, I'm going to take Thursday off, even though I usually go live on Thursday. But I think it's getting replaced by the Tuesday live with Mimic, Krabby on Wednesday, and then the next week I will still do the live on Sunday again. Right, next Sunday I will go live again. The next week on Thursday I will be live with Poke Hobbs on my channel. He has never gone live on his channel as of yet. Maybe one day after seeing what it's like on my channel, he will. Maybe he'll have a blast. Great dude. I love his content. I've recently found him, and he's amazing, guys. So I would suggest you guys, if you guys know I don't really recommend channels. I will say this again. I never really recommend channels at all on here. And guys, you should definitely go check him out. Great dude, great content. So I think you guys will be really happy when you go and watch his videos. Outside of that, guys, once again, thank you for being here. And Pokeblab, you came on the last, very last. That's insane. Very last second. It is 10 p.m. by me. Maybe you have a different time zone. Maybe that's why. I don't know where you live. But maybe that's why. Maybe it's early by you, but it's 10 p.m. by me, and I'm just a little more tired than I normally am. So I just rather end it now. I usually go till 11 p.m. Maybe next Sunday I will take it to 11. But I apologize, you guys. I know you guys don't want it to end. Usually most guys don't want it to end, but it's been fun. Thank you guys so much. I can't ever be as thankful. I don't think I can as I really want to be, but I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll have a video out tomorrow. That's usually the plan. So we'll see how that goes. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. With that being said, guys, like I said, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thank you so much, guys. Discord is also in the description, guys, if you want to join that. Bye.